What's happening, Patreon? I am home. My first day home, and I'm making a video for y'all. Why? Well, it's been a while since we've done a long vlog, and we're gonna have a long vlog today. I probably have a few things to say. Yeah, look, man, this is a good cigar too. This is what's called the Real Cuban. I can't even mention cigars on YouTube now. Lee Mac's whole channel got taken down. Don't worry, I got a harmonica too. But Lisa Preslin, it's an A flat. Lisa, you're getting good. You need to get an A flat at this point now. You're getting good. Yeah. I swear my harmonica playing, it's not causing them dogs. They're fighting between each other. Fight, howl like that. What you got there? That a Bazenji?
He is a Shiba Inu.
A Shiba Inu?
Yeah, they're very similar. I don't really know what the difference is actually. Yeah. Oh yeah, the dog's waiting for it.
Beautiful.
You got any in the house, man, or no?
No, we got a cat.
Oh, you got the cat? Okay.
And the cat doesn't like the dogs. But he's not scared of them. He's aggressive towards them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Can't have that. Right. See you later.
Take care, y'all. Yeah. A flat. It's a good key. What's up, William? Better than average? It's good to be home, man. Got that Zydeco coming right out as soon as I came home, just organically. Just sitting at home, feeling this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful city. Grateful to be alive, so grateful to be home. A little money in the bank, finally. Took 2 tours with 2 other bands for me to put money in the bank. Went out for 13 days with my band. Went down to Florida, saw some of y'all, which was beautiful. Anytime somebody comes to my show and says, I'm a Patreon patron, that's an immediate hug, even if I'm sweaty. But I'll warn you first. I'll say, I'm sweaty, but I want to hug you. If you could taste how sweet, with a little lemony, malty flavor, pairing it with this Malta Goya. This is a crazy soft drink. Never knew about this stuff until I lived here. But you know who turned me on to this? Was Well, actually, no. It was the city here, but who really solidified me drinking it all the time was a Patreon patron named James Gee, also one of my students. And he was texting me last night about tongue switching. What is tongue switching? Well, I can't do it. I'll tell you that. But I can do it a little bit. But the guys who really do it, they can play like a whole melody out of the right side of their mouth. And then like they're tongue blocking like, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. And then playing out of the corner of their mouth while their tongue's over there. That was an ugly face, huh? And then they'll switch the tongue over to the other side. It's impossible to make a pretty face when you're doing that. But yeah. So I'm blocking 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to move my tongue and then just be playing 1. I'm blocking 1, 2, and 3 and playing 4. Now I'm going to move my tongue to 2, 3, and 4 and play 1. Oh. I did it the first time. Right there. But they'll do that with whole melodies, James. You know who's the king of it? The best I heard, anyway, is that. I'm sure there's other guys, but I'm sure you know who I bet is good at it is Joel Anderson. But that James Conway, out of Chicago, Irish player. I love him. I love him so much as a person, too. That's what I was talking about in my post that I just put up. That's right. As Lee Mack, if Lee Mack was a harmonica player, he'd say, that's right, my harmonica family. That's right, my harmonica family. My music family, lovers of music. Man, if you're here, you're just a lover of people and thinking. And I appreciate it very, very, very much. That's what I was talking about. I will forever be reminding myself that what is important today is my relationships. My relationships with the people around me. My relationship with God. But that relationship there affects my relationships with the people around me. It helps me to improve that. What's happening? Out for a stroll? That relationship, those relationships are what matters. And, okay. A friend of mine put up this post. Famous harmonica player. Pretty famous harmonica. Not real famous. He's younger than me. Well, shucks, it's Brandon Santini. And he said something like, and we've discussed this here. And this is something I've heard Lee Mack talk about too. And he's been talking about it again lately since his channel got pulled off of YouTube. And he's returned to just making videos on Patreon. Anyway, the thing that I'm talking about that Brandon posted was this description of what it takes to be a musician now and how unfair it is. And it's true. And it was like all stuff about Spotify and having to promote your own event and the hotel prices going up, musicians making the same amount of money today that we did in the 70s, but everything else is more expensive. No health insurance. AI coming into play. AI started a band. That band sold more records than anybody else in like 2 days, right? People didn't even know it was a band. I didn't even know it was AI. Anyway, that was the post. And I read the post. And I thought, so what? Now, don't get me wrong. I have my moments in the van where my mouth starts whining and complaining about these things. And they're real. And it's all true. Everything that Brandon wrote was true. And it's daunting. And it's depressing. However, Lee Mack, what did Lee Mack say? The motives. What are your motives? In other words, if you're at home and you're watching this, and we've talked about this so much, but I'm going to talk about it again. It is normal for you right now, if you've been playing a little while, to want a little more. And then a little more after that. That is a healthy ambition. Another patron, Patricia Fouquet from France, said, I had made some posts about ambition, and I had certainly implied that it was negative. Now, the reason that I implied that it was negative is because ambition has been a drug to me. It has been a drug. When I was younger, and still today, oftentimes I will subconsciously convince myself that if I can get this, and that, then I will be happy. And then, when I get those things, this is a fine, fine cigar. And then, when I get those things, I'm not happy. I just want more of it, or it's not what I thought it was going to be. Then what? Well, so anyway, what were my motives going in? Why, when I picked this up, what did I want out of it? What I wanted out of it was just what we're doing right now. Just something to do on the porch, something to make me feel good. I wanted to sound like those guys. That's it. Just wanted to sound kind of like those guys. I never even thought about having my own sound. I mean, not never, but in the beginning. All I wanted to do is just play something like that. Just get good enough. You know. And who was the main guy that I wanted to sound like? Who knows? Before Butterfield, before Little Walter, right? Before any of them cats, Alan Wilson. Hey, how are you? Good, wonderful. I wanted to sound like Alan. Yeah. I wanted to sound like the canned heat. And that was it. And then after that, I heard Little Walter and Butterfield, and then, of course, Pat Ramsey, right? I wanted to sound like Pat for a long time. And you know what happened this weekend? First of all, I made a YouTube video about Alan a long time ago, a couple of them. One of the only couple of videos I ever made where I took apart somebody's solo. And the reason there's only a couple of those made was because the video was heavily flagged by YouTube. And I almost lost my channel over it for copyright infringement. So, but it's a good thing that I fought it and left it up even though it was demonetized, because David Wilson, Alan's brother, saw the video and he liked it, and we became friends, and he invited me over to meet his family, and they have a room, and in the room there was a bunch of Alan stuff, and they let me, I was smoking weed back then, and I got kind of stoned, and I got really stoned, and they let me up there, and I just stayed up there for like 6 or 7 hours, just looking through all of Alan's notebooks and reading his journals, and he had made a graph to notate Skip James's microtonal singing so he could remember how to do it. It was amazing, and all that before he was 27. I don't know how old he was when the journal wasn't dated. How old he was when he wrote that? He could have been 18. I don't know. Fine cigar. This weekend I played with Canned Heat. None of the original members were there. And there's, as you can imagine, some tension between some of the family members of the band and the band itself, as it is today. It has one original member, Fido De La Parra, the drummer. And Fido has cancer and is sick right now and couldn't do the gig. So I played with a band named Canned Heat. But it was Jimmy Vivino on guitar and my friend Dale Spalding on harmonica and guitar. I forgot the name of the bass player, but he sounded a lot like Larry Taylor. He did a good job doing Larry stuff. And a great drummer that used to play with Roomful of Blues. Anyway, it was an honor. It was. But before I accepted the honor, I called David, Alan's family, and I said, hey, listen, I got invited by Canned Heat to play with them. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to do it. I didn't ask his permission. I told him I'm going to do it. And I said, is there anything that you would like me to say? You know, either before I play over the microphone, if I get a chance, or something afterwards to the band. And he said, yeah. He said, just get up there and give a little dedication to Alan and his family. And I said, yeah, I can do that. And I did. I went out of my way. They thought it was weird when they invited me up, and I asked to say something over the microphone, and I didn't really care. It was kind of conditional for me. Not that they cared to meet my conditions, but they did. They did. And that was nice. But my motives going in this were not to play with Canned Heat. It was not to make any money. But I do feel a little better having had those things happen and having a little bit of money in the bank, you know. But I don't always, as you guys know, it's not always like as nice as it is today, you know. By the way, it was cold in Maine in August. I mean, in July. Cold. Like, I'm talking like at night, it got down to like 45 degrees. In July. I am back here right now. It must be 199 or something degrees out here right now. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You can pick your family and you can pick your home. And the city's changing. It does, and everybody complains about that too, right? People that have been here a while. And I'm starting to get to the point where I've been here a little while. But I'm not here for the city to give me anything, gigs or accolades. I think about it. Sometimes it bums me out, but then I have to remind myself I'm here to be around the music from here. I'm here to be around the food, around the weather, around the culture. Mm-hmm. So I wrote under Brandon Santini's post, I said everything that you wrote is true. I said, the only thing that matters is this question. Ask yourself, what were your motives going in? And if those have changed, why? Why? Can't take any of this money with us. Can't. And there's a fine line between living life to the fullest and being reckless. And there's a fine line between being careful and health conscious and concerned and missing out. Really, truly missing out on experience. And only you can define where that line is. Only you. People write bad things about cigars all the time. About the vape. About those kinds of things. And for sure, there's no way that cigars are good for you. Or are they? Or are they actually? Right? Is the amount of stress relief that I get, because when I smoke cigars, right, I don't normally make a Patreon video. That's one out of however many. I sit here in silence and gauge, right? I gauge my anxiety level, my serenity level. What is it that I've said? How have I been perceived? How do I think that I've been perceived? Was I being honest? Was I being honest for the purpose of hurting somebody? Did I gossip? How much? That's the question. How much? Right? How honest am I being with myself? And I'm taking that in a sort of meditation. I'm observing my neighborhood, the squirrels, the wind, or lack of, the trees, the insects, the neighbors' dogs, my neighbors, my people around me, who we share space with in this incredible, amazing illusion that is presented before our eyes like some kind of a video game. And I actively participate. Or check out. That's healthy. So there's that comes with the price tag of a 3% chance, a 3% increased chance of mouth cancer. That's what it does, because you don't inhale. Okay. There it is. it's a risk. It's a risk I take. What do I get out of it besides what I just told you? I get a culture. I get friends. I get gifts in the mailbox. I send gifts through the mail to people I've never met before. People I communicate with on Instagram. Some of them I've met now. I go to functions. I have fans that come to my shows that know me from cigars only, that never heard my music before. I find out things about their businesses. And the love of tobacco and what tobacco has done for these communities. That in Nicaragua, in the Dominican Republic, in Costa Rica, in Honduras, cigar companies that have allowed areas to have schools, have had wells, water pumped in, jobs that pay okay, jobs where there's more money to be made. All of that comes from tobacco. So where's the line? That's up to you. It's up to you. Here's the thing. When you tell somebody what to do, right? Ask yourself, what's your motive? Right? Ask yourself, when you tell a grown woman or a grown man how they should be or what they should do, maybe one you've never even met, maybe one that you've never even commented anything else to, but that's the first thing that you decide to do, is tell them how their hair should be, or their clothes, or what to play musically, or what to smoke or not to smoke, right? When you do that, ask yourself, what's your motive? Is your motive that you genuinely care about that person? Have you thought to yourself that that person, like myself, is probably also a reasonably intelligent individual, capable of measuring and weighing pluses and minuses, and has made their own informed decision, knowing potential risks, aware of the potential risks, and is engaging in an activity that maybe I wouldn't do. So what? Is your motive out of love? Have you asked yourself that question, or is there something else? I can only speculate, because I've been getting a lot of these kind of comments. Not just about the cigars or the vape, but about my hair, about my weight, right? About anything. All this stuff. People, I can only speculate what the motive is. Most people who see these comments, who come to my aid and my defense, and I appreciate it, it's nice, because most of the time I don't write back. But sometimes I do. Most of the time when I write back, I try to be really, really nice. But a couple of times recently, I haven't been so nice. And that's been okay. I've actually not hated that I wasn't so nice. But I just question their motive. I didn't believe it was out of concern. I think that most of the people that defend me, what they say is that it's some kind of jealousy. And that might be. But jealous of what? We don't really know what goes into being Jason now, do we? Or having the life that Jason has. We don't even really know what that is any more than I know what it's like to be any of you. But when I meet somebody, or when I know somebody, I try to respect the fact that I don't understand everything. I try to know that I don't know everything, and then I ask questions first. And if I'm truly, truly concerned about somebody, and only then, and I feel that I have walked in your shoes, or that I know somebody that has, that I was close to, that told me step by step every little way of their battle with cancer, or their struggles with the music industry, or what it was like going through med school, or running your own business, or how dangerous and a tour bus can be to a band, right? These kinds of things. If I know somebody, I might say something as politely as I possibly can, and be sure to say, listen, I really, really care about you, and I'm worried, and of course, you know better than me, right? Or you've probably considered these things, but do you know that you can't bring a tour bus into Key West or New York City, and that you got to rent another car and then move all your gear back and forth? Something like that. And if that person then gets upset at me, well, that's all right. Because my motives were true. I didn't want that person to not consider those things. And maybe they already had, and maybe I was being redundant, and maybe that hurt their feelings. That was the risk I was willing to take. That was the risk I was going to take. Everybody feels today like we have to agree on everything. That it is necessary for you and me to get along. We need to agree on absolutely everything. Alan Wilson. Time was when we got along. Right, that song Time Was. I'll put a link to it. Jimmy Vivino told me that Alan wrote that song about the band when they weren't getting along. And he said, imagine, just think how true that is today. Time was when we got along. Now you find fault with me. That we have to agree on every little thing. Right? And I understand. People are saying things like, well, in certain issues, this isn't a matter of agreeing and disagreeing. This is a matter of civil rights. I get it. Okay, cool. Let's go with that. Now, conduct yourself civilly in that conversation. If you would like to stand up for decency, peace, understanding, love, acceptance, inclusion, okay, tolerance, if those are the things that you're defending, why not try defending them with those virtues? Huh? How about that for an idea? Oh, no. These people can only be defeated with, well, you got to fight fire with fire. I don't know, my mother taught me 2 wrongs don't make a right. But you know what? Here's the thing. I don't know. I just know what brings me peace. When I see a comment, a negative comment about me, I want to immediately address it. That's what I want. That's what the lizard brain caveman part of Jason wants to do. Well, who the fuck are you, and what do you think, and this and that. That's what I want to do. The higher self of me says, don't do anything. Don't do anything. Then the middle self says, write something nice. This social media thing. I think I need a detox. We're talking about these social media detoxes. I think I'm ready for that. Talking about taking another vacation with my wife because the last one got ruined with double pneumonia. And part of that vacation is going to certainly be not picking up the phone. pack is for certain. Not looking at the phone. Maybe watching some movies. There's a couple movies I'm really excited about. There's this one called, what's it called? It's about a serial killer that feeds his victims to sharks. I want to see that one. Hey, Willie!
Yeah.
Just say it, hey, Willie. Remember that show, Alf, with the alien?
Yeah.
Remember you, hey, Willie! I bet you got sick of hearing that.
Well, you know, free.
Sorry to bring it back.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I didn't mind that. Free will.
Oh, Free Willie. That's, yes, sir.
Keep playing, though. I like it.
Yes, sir. All right. You know, everything. I wish I can talk all this stuff, you know, partially because I'm trying to live it. And there are moments of my musical performances and moments of my performances as a husband, performances as a friend, where I actually am living it. But the rest of the time, my ego is involved. Me, the sense of I, of my name, Jason. That's what I'm trying to get rid of. When I pick up the harmonica and I play a note, what's next right now? So, like, what's the next right now? Like, what's the note that I hear happening next? Right? How about that? Instead of my motive, what's the next note that's going to impress somebody? What's the next group of notes that I'm going to put together that I've already practiced that are going to get me the gig, that are going to make people think I'm good? All of that is bullshit. It's all bullshit. And the irony is, every time that I play well, that's what's going on. I'm ignoring the bullshit, and I'm just playing. And every time that I play bullshit, it's because I'm imitating a time when I was ignoring the bullshit. Because I want to own it. I want to hold on to it. I want it to be mine. I want to possess it. I want to possess what is unpossessable, what is free, free willing, what is unnameable, unexplainable, the intangible. Call it what you want. The universe, God, life, Great Spirit, Allah, Jesus, Buddha. I don't care. And Ronnie, my brother Ronnie, I still don't care. And I've done a lot of thinking on it. A lot of thinking on that subject. I don't care what you call know what it means to me. I know what I call it. And I think it is more important to be an example of that than it is to tell people how they should be. Just me. For the new record to be out 2026, they're telling me now. Whole year I gotta wait. 6 months. I have so much work to do on it too. Album artwork and this thing called metadata. Anyway, I love y'all. I hope you enjoyed the talk. I hope it didn't sound too negative. It wasn't. It might have come off a little forceful, like preaching about not preaching. Oh boy, such is life. One giant crazy dodecahedron.